Hey you guys, I'm going to start the video with an experiment as usual. Check out this piece of butter. It looks firm, yeah? Let me try to cut it using this knife. Oh my god, it is so hard. It feels hard too. Let us check the other piece of butter. And let me try to cut it. Oh, it feels soft. Okay, so the consistency of this butter is soft. So first the butter was solid and then it changed into liquid when exposed to heat. You see the thin liquid around it? So did the butter change into another substance? No, it went through only a physical change. So we see here, where am I pointing out? Yes, it is the change of state lesson, which is lesson 2 from chapter 10. This is for week 10. So let us start with page 332. How can heating change matter? Have you ever left a bar of chocolate in your pocket in summer? When you reached in to get it, it was probably melting. So, as what we saw with the butter, also happens with chocolates. Melting is a change from a solid to a liquid. Some solids, just such as gold and glass, will only melt when they are very hot. Other solids, such as ice and butter, melt at much lower temperatures. So here the butter was only melted due to sunlight, but some other solids, they do not melt at a low temperature. They need very high temperature in order to melt, such as gold. Also we have silver, okay, also glass. Now let's move to page 33, sorry. Solid ice cubes melt when left at room temperature. So you see these solid ice cubes. Ice cubes are solid, yeah? When they are left at room temperature, they start melting. Water can change to a gas when it is heated. Evaporate means to change from liquid to gas and go into the air. So we previously took the lesson about the water cycle. It begins with evaporating. So what does evaporate mean? It means it changes from liquid to gas. Now, if enough heat is added to water, it will boil. When water boils, you can see bubbles. The bubbles show that the water is changing to a gas called water vapor. We cannot see water vapor. Let us see this diagram here. First, if we put the ice cubes inside the pot and we turn the heat down the pot, we add the heat to the ice. Okay, this is the first step. What do you think will happen in the next one? Later, the ice cubes will melt and they will turn into liquid. So the ice cubes will turn into water, which is liquid. Okay? After that, if we keep on heating the water will eventually boil. You see how it reduced? Why did it reduce? Because it is starting to evaporate. Which sign shows us that the water started to evaporate? The bubbles. So once we see bubbles in the pot, we know that the water is evaporating and becoming gas. So the water turns into gas. Okay? Now, let's go to page 334. Other than heating, also cooling change matter. Matter can also change by cooling or taking away heat. Gases condense when they are cooled. Condense means to change from a gas to a liquid. Condense, you remember, also we took it in the water cycle. So I've got here 2 glasses of water. The first one is actually it's hot water. The second one is cold water. You see how it is starting to add water drops on the outside. Okay, so because the room temperature is lower than the water that is inside, that's why the water starts, the glass has water drops on the outside. Okay, just like the water bottle here, water vapor condenses on the outside of a bottle. Now, water that has condensed on a window comes from air inside the room. What shows us? This thing shows us during the winter, when it is cold, very cold outside, when the warm indoor air meets the cold glass, you see the cold glass here, on a wintry day, some of the water vapor in the air is cooled and condenses. It changes from gas to liquid. That's why drops of water will form on the inside of a window on a cold day. Now, let's move to page 335. When liquids cool, they can freeze or become solid. Wax and some other liquids will freeze at room temperature. Other liquids, such as water, need to be much colder to freeze. So not only water turn into solid, also other kinds of matter, such as the wax. The wax, we can see it here. When we turn this into heat, when this is heated, the wax starts melting. And once we turn the heat off and it cools at the room temperature, the wax that has melted will turn into solid again. So after a candle burns, the wax will cool and become solid. So we conclude that heating changes solids into liquids and liquids into gases, whereas cooling changes gases into liquids and some liquids to solids.